Hello, my name is Martin. I'm the CEO of Arkyn, and today I'm going to show you a bit about our product called FastPlan. FastPlan is our planning and scheduling application for SAP maintenance processes. And the way we've approached this product is to make a tool that's very, very visual and very configurable, because a lot of the times when you need to do planning and scheduling, you have a lot of different needs in the different departments or areas of your company. So the way you start with our tool is you actually build the planning perspectives that you need specifically for you. And today I'll show you how we're doing that. So you actually begin by creating what's called a new perspective. For instance, I can do a 4-week overview here. You can add additional descriptions to your perspectives, and then you can design the layout. For this demo, I'll do a split horizontal layout, and I will set it to public available, so everybody in the company besides me can actually also see it. You can also create your own, like private, and you can create read-only if you don't want anybody else to be able to change the perspective. So when you've done that, you get into the perspective mode where you can decide what is it that you're actually going to look at in order of doing planning. And for this, I want to do a simple overview of my work orders compared with my availability of my resources. So for the first component here, I'll choose the Gantt chart, and I want to look at my work orders. And again, I can decide which of the different SAP date fields do I need to look at in order to do my planning. And for this, I'll just choose my basic start and basic finish. And this will immediately pull in all my different work orders for the next 4 weeks in this view here. I can then go ahead and save my perspective, and then this is the way this will look for me. But of course, you want to overlay this with what's your availability of resources. So in the bottom half of this view or perspective, I want to add my resources. So I'll click resources. And in this case, I want to look at work centers. And that will give me my available work centers and their capacity and their load. So as you can see, a lot of free capacity. And you can see these dates here where there is load from all of these orders. Again, save your perspective. So if you go back to your dashboard and come back to your 4-week overview, then it now looks like what you've set up. And you can do a lot of customizations to these different views. For instance, if there's columns that you feel are missing in order to do your planning, you can drag the splitter here, and then you can click this one in order to manage columns. So say you want to know the equipment entailed of this, and you want to know the phase and the priority. Then you just add these columns to your view and press save. And now you have the different columns here in terms of that. It's also very easy to rearrange the basic view in top. So let's say you want everything grouped by priority. Then you just drag the header to this area here. And now all your work orders are grouped by their prioritization. Again, if this is how you like to do your planning and scheduling, then you just save the view, and this is how it will look the next time that you will enter this perspective. If you someday want to change, well, you can just delete the component in the container and say, okay, now I want to look at employees instead of work centers, and do like this, and then you have the individual people and how they're allocated in terms of the work. But for a simpler overview, I'll just switch back to the work center view and go ahead and save my perspective. You can access all the different orders directly here by clicking this one, you can then see the different operations, the components, if there are attachments here. You can actually also edit the order or edit the operations if you need to do modifications directly here in the scheduling tool. You can also do multiple changes. So for instance, if 2 of these orders here are not medium, you can actually change multiple orders at once by pressing this one and saying, okay, we should change this to a different work center, or we want to assign both of them in one go to a specific employee. Besides that, you can of course do your scheduling directly here in the visual interface. And the easiest way of doing it is just dragging the orders where you want them. So for instance, if I move this order out by a week, it will move to this place and change color to this orange color. And this has now been changed in my plan, but it's not yet saved in SAP, because we want to be able to allow planners to do different types of plans and look how they affect the resources, and potentially talk with operators and others before plans are committed to SAP. But you can save your plan, so you can say save, and the default plan is one that's already in place, and you can just say override. And then this is your kind of default planning. But if I want to make an alternative, I can then move this out one more week, and then you move this as well. And if I want to, then I can save this as a new plan. So I create a new plan called my plan B. And now I have 2 different plans. I have my default plan and I have my plan B. So it's very easy for planners and schedulers to do different scenario plannings and communicate with people on how those plans will pan out and affect production. When you're happy with the plan, you can commit it to SAP and you can press the Save to SAP button. And this has 2 modes. You can do a test run, so you can kind of get a feedback from SAP on what you planned, if that is all right to commit. So if I do a test plan first, it will say, okay, there's no issues with these 2 orders, moving those. So I can go ahead and save it directly back to SAP. And now the plan has been updated, and if I follow this out, you can see that the 2 orders has been moved as I did. There is a lot of configurations, opportunities, and possibilities in this tool, and we won't cover all of them today. We also have multiple updates. We have auto assignment, auto planning that we can cover on a different video. We can also do a ton of different settings and colorings and layouts based on different rules. So if you want specific orders to be a specific color based on a status or priority or assignment, then we can make these custom rules and configurations so that the perspective looks exactly like what you need it to look like. And again, this is just one type of view or perspective that we can have in this tool. We can also have more simple views and perspective, like for instance this one. It's just a simple 1-column table view of my outstanding notifications. Again, you can say what you can decide which of these different columns you want to have shown, and again do different groupings or prioritizations or filtering, so the view shows exactly what you need in order to complete your process. And this view now just shows any outstanding notifications within the next 4 weeks that is in our system. So it's easy for me to have a look at the incoming stuff and actually also either edit it or directly create an order from this view and get a technician going. And you can have as many perspectives as you'd like in order to have the different parts of your planning and scheduling process covered. There's also a basic capacity view. The capacity view will read the basic information out of SAP or potentially another HR system, and you're able to do direct modifications of the standard capacity. So for instance, let's say that I'm on vacation in this, then we can actually just add that I'm not available in this period of time directly here, and then that has deducted the capacity from my person in that week. So it reads the basic master data of SAP or other systems. It will also, of course, read if that vacation has already been registered in the backend system. But if not, then it's easy to do these day-to-day modifications of what's actually available from a capacity point of view for your planners and schedules. That's it today for FastPlan, our planning and scheduling application for asset maintenance in SAP. If you have any questions or are curious to hear more of this solution, please contact us and we can do a more detailed deep dive for you specifically.